guys, it's Tina and I am back, and I am here with another swatch and review video for you guys, this time featuring the newer shades of the STILA Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows as well as their Shimmer and Glow eyeshadows. So I picked up all the shades that were available. There were a couple newer shades that also debuted and I grabbed all of them just because I really like these a lot and I wanted to share them with you guys. Now I did an original video with the initial launch of the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows and I will link that in the card so you can check that out. I swatched the original shades in that video, so if you're interested in seeing those, check that video out. But this time around, I'm going to swatch the newer shades. There were some summer shades that were released that have since become permanent. There were some spring shades as well. And they also released this newer formula of their Shimmer and Glow eyeshadows. These are more of a traditional liquid eyeshadow that aren't as glittery as the Glitter and Glow. Now, as usual, I like to start out with the swatches, so that's what we're going to jump into right now. And then I will finish up with my thoughts and the review. So we'll start out with the swatches of the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. The first new shade up is Perlina, which is a Sephora exclusive and is described as an opalescent white, bright blue, pink, and duochrome purple pearl. This shade is a clear base with opalescent white. It has blue shifting pearls, purple, and a light pink duochrome to it. And I like that they didn't call this a holographic shade. It is a shade that has multiple colors to it, but it's very specific. It doesn't flash green or like a yellow gold or any of those other shades. It's strictly pink, purple, and blue. Next up, we have the shade Wanderlust, which is a STILA exclusive. This one is described as a sheer gold with pink sparkle. This one is a clear base with very finely milled champagne gold, and it has a little bit of a pinky reflect to it. This one is more finely milled than the previous shade, which is Perlina, so you'll see differences in the texture. This one is a lot more fine. Then we have Gypsy, which is described as a mid-tone lilac with magenta pearl. This one is a beautiful pinky lilac shade with gold and pinky duochrome to it. I really don't see the magenta, but it's a beautiful pink and lavender glitter. Again, a finely milled texture for this one. Then we have Enchantress, which is another Sephora exclusive shade. This one is described as a peach with duochrome bright gold pearl. This shade is almost a creamy liquid eyeshadow. It's so finely milled. I don't really see the glitter to this one, but it's a peachy pinky shade with golden duochrome. It's really gorgeous and I love the texture of this one. Then we have Sea Siren, which was a spring summer shade, and it's a bright lavender with duochrome bright blue pearl. It was meant to be limited edition, but I see that they have somehow made it permanent. This one is also like a liquid eyeshadow. It's a very sheer shade and it comes off a lot more liquid than the other ones. It has a lavender pink and blue duochrome to it. Then we have Sunset Cove, which is another one of the spring summer shades. This is described as a cool mid-tone pink with duochrome bright gold pearl. Now, as you can see, when I swatched this next to Sea Siren, they're very similar shades. They look almost identical. The difference is Sunset Cove is a little bit more of a duochrome with gold and green hints to it. Sea Siren is a lot more pink. You can barely see the difference, so I don't think these two shades are necessary. These two are very liquidy and very thin. They don't really pack a lot of punch to them. Then we have the shade In a Frenzy. This one was a summer fall release, and it's described as a warm, dusty rose, copper, and silver sparkle. They were keeping with the cranberry trend when they released this shade, and it has a dirty brown copper feel to it. It's a little bit red and it has silver sparkle to it. Again, another sheer shade. It's not really a richly pigmented shade. Then the other shade that lines up with this release is the Next to Not, which is an oxblood dark berry with pink glitter. This one to me was the prettier of the two shades. It has almost a sheer oxblood base to it, and then it has chunkier cranberry glitter to it, which is really, really beautiful. That one is again one of the chunkier textures. Next up is a Sephora exclusive. This shade is Fairy Tale. It's described as a gunmetal gold with duochrome bright lavender pearl. This one is an interesting shade. It's more like a dirty olive bronze with pinky duochrome. It's quite beautiful. I know they say lavender a lot in these shades, but the lavender is more like a light pink. This one is actually a pretty neutral shade, but it has this different pink reflect to it, which makes it really interesting. And then we have the last of the spring summer shades, which is Into the Blue. This one is described as a deep blue with duochrome purple pearl. I like this one because it was different. It's a blue shade. It has lavender, pink, and blue duochrome to it. That shade is the only really colorful one. As you can see, they didn't really mix in any pops of color for the shades. So here are all the newer shades of the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow. Some that are newly released and are exclusive to Sephora. Some that were released for the spring summer season, and then the fall shades as well. As you can see, we have 3 pretty similar shades right here, and the one that I would actually choose out of all 3 of those shades would be Gypsy, which is the exclusive shade to Sephora. This is more of an interesting shade to me. It has lavender and pink and gold to it. These other 2 shades are very liquidy. You see how they apply. They're very streaky and they're very sheer. These shades, the 2 fall shades, I would actually go with next to not. But this is also a very interesting shade here. I love that one. It is the Fairy Tale shade, exclusive to Sephora. And then, of course, if you want to go with a more opalescent duochrome shade, then you would go with the first one, which is Perlina. And here are the 2 newest shades of the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow. First up, we have the shade Coral Crush, which is described as a sheer golden peach with green and pink sparkle. This base has a sheer pinky peach undertone, and then the shimmer and glitter are golden, and then you have some light green as well, but the green doesn't really stand out. The next shade is Beauty Junkie. This is described as a rose pink with gold sparkle. This one has a strong corally pink base. It even looks a little bit neon, and then it has ultra fine golden shimmer. Now let's go ahead and jump into the shades of the Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadows. The first shade we have up is Starlight, which is described as a shimmering light gold champagne. This is exactly as it's described. It's just a light gold champagne. It has more of a sheer color payoff, which most of these shades will tend to have more of a sheer pigmentation to them. Next up is Kitten, which is their signature shade. This one is described as a shimmering, vibrant nude pink. This one has a lot more opacity to it. You'll see that it applies like a cream eyeshadow. It really has great pigmentation to it, and it's more of a pinky champagne shade. Then we have the shade Jezebel, which is described as a shimmering rose gold. This one has great pigmentation as well. You see it has great color payoff, and it is indeed more like a coppery pink champagne. Then we have Carefree, which is described as a shimmering pink coral. This one is a beautiful peachy coral shade, and it has this iridescent, almost neon quality to it once you see it up close. It's really gorgeous. Then we have the shade Grace. This one is described as a shimmery rosy taupe. This one has great pigmentation, and I would describe it more like a taupe bronze. It's gorgeous, and it would be great in a neutral look. Then we have the shade Boheme, which is described as a shimmering pale lilac. I want to describe this one as a lilac bronze shade because it doesn't really translate as lilac, but it's such a different color. It has this pinky purple hue to it, but it leans on the bronzy side. I guess it's kind of taupe-ish. It's just a really reflective silvery purple. It's quite beautiful as well, and it has great pigmentation. This next shade is Cloud. It's described as a shimmering lavender with gold pearl. I want to describe this as a deep rose gold with purple reflect to it. It's so gorgeous. This would be my go-to, or the shade Boheme, which are really gorgeous. This next shade is Twig. It's described as a shimmering warm chestnut brown. This one is another one of my favorites. It's a beautiful deep bronzy brown shade with a hint of red undertone. This one is so gorgeous and it would work so well in a deep chocolatey eye. I just love this color and it has great opacity as well. Here we have Pigalle, which is described as a shimmering cool cranberry, and it is exactly as described. It's this beautiful deep cranberry shade. Really gorgeous. It has great pigmentation. This is for those of you that love those deep red berry shades. Then we have another one of my favorite shades. This is La Dolce, which is described as shimmering warm gold green. This is such a gorgeous deep olive green with yellow gold reflect. I love this one as well. Has great opacity. I think this is a beautiful shade. It's different if you're looking for one that's a little bit more unique. And then last up we have the shade Freedom, which is described as a shimmering pale aqua. This again is the only real true colorful shade in the lineup. This one is a very pale light aqua shade. So gorgeous. It's a little bit more sheered though, so if you're looking for full opacity, you're not gonna find it here. It has more of a white base. It's very pale, but as it dries down, you can see more of the aqua blue to it. And here again are all of the shades lined up. My favorite would be Cloud and Twig. They're really gorgeous shades. I also like La Dolce, which is a really beautiful, it's just an interesting shade. It's hard to describe. And Kitten is a beautiful pink champagne. Alright guys, so now that you have seen all the swatches and you're probably a little bit more excited and you saw some shades that you're probably really pumped about, let's go ahead and jump into the review. And as usual, I like to start out with the price, which this price, I can't even justify. These are $24 a piece. $24, which is a steep price point. For the Glitter and Glow eyeshadows, they contain 0.153 fluid ounce or 4.5 milliliters. And then for the Shimmer and Glow, they contain the same amount. You're paying the same price for both of these formulations and you're getting the same amount of product. And it's a significant amount of product. You do get a good sizable amount, but that price, $24, is a hard pill to swallow. So my recommendation for these is buy them in the sets. So STILA typically does like trios, especially around the holiday season. They release little sets. Even around the spring and summer, they will release sets of trios with mini sizes of these, or you can get sets of 5. But if you can find a set of those that you like all the shades, I recommend going that way. You get less product, you pay a lower price, and you get more shades to try out. That's my recommendation. I also say wait for a sale. I'm a big believer in not paying full price for a product, especially these days when just about everything goes on sale. STILA actually does sales quite a few times a year, so every couple of months you'll see the entire STILA website go on sale, and it's usually 25–30% off. So keep an eye out for when these go on sale. They're available for purchase on the Sephora website, the Ulta website, the STILA website, and also in store at Sephora and Ulta. You won't necessarily find all of the shades at each of these retailers since there are some exclusive shades. Sometimes they're exclusive to the STILA website, sometimes they're exclusive to Sephora, or they may be exclusive to Ulta. As far as the packaging for these, I'll run through it really quickly because I've mentioned it before in a couple of my videos, but these are just square tubes with a clear base that you can see the actual color, and then the caps are either a yellow gold for the Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows, or it will be a rose gold for the Glimmer and Glow eyeshadows. So you can differentiate between the different formulations by the cap. And then on the bottom there is a gold label with the shade name. And around the tube you have the STILA logo along with sizing information, manufacturing information, and it will tell you whether it's a Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadow or a Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow. The applicator for each of these formulations is a flocked paddle style doe foot applicator. It's a great shape and size for applying directly on the lids. I find this actually really nice for applying the product, but I also like to tap it out with my fingers or with a brush. But I do like this applicator, and there's a little sifter that takes off the excess product so you don't come out with too much product on the applicator at any given time. Now, as far as the product and the performance, these are a little bit hit or miss, as you could see from the swatches. These are not consistent throughout each of the shades, even throughout the formulations. They're a little bit different for each shade, and you have to be mindful of that. So depending on what shade you're interested in, you might find that it's a little bit sheer, a little bit more watery, a little bit more chunky. But I find that the Glitter and Glow shades tend to be a little bit more consistent. They have a clear base to them, and sometimes it's a little bit of a tinted base, but the majority of it is glitter. It's chunky, it's beautiful. Some of them are chunkier than others. Some of them pack a little bit more punch. There's a little bit more duochrome to some of them, or multi-tones to some of them. But overall, it depends on the shade you're looking into. I already told you my feelings about each of the shades, so you can use that for reference, but I do really like the formulation of the Glitter and Glow eyeshadows. I find them to be an easy way to apply glitter to a look. They apply easily and they stay in place. The problem is, if you apply these and mess around with them too much, they can get all over your face. If you use a brush and blend them out, they can just get everywhere. And that's just the name of the game when it comes to glitter, so I kind of expect that. But if I just dab these on, like at the end of applying my eyeshadow, so I have my eyeshadow down and I just use these as a topper, I absolutely love the finish of these, and they're definitely a lot easier than using loose glitter, and I love the undertones, the multi-dimensional finish of these, so I do love these, and there are quite a few shades that I love from this new lineup. Now, as far as the Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadows, I do like that they created this new formulation, which is more of a shimmery liquid eyeshadow. And I do think some of these shades are absolutely beautiful, like the shade Twig. Absolutely love this shade. I also love the shade Cloud, which is that interesting lavender shade. It's so different and unique that I absolutely love it. And the shade La Doce. Oh, I think that's an Ulta exclusive. It's also on the STILA website. That shade is absolutely glorious. There are also a couple of shades that are exclusive to the Sephora website. I like these a lot, and they released newer jewel tone shades that I already did a review for. I'll link it up here as well so you can check that out. But I love quite a few of the shades. Do I think you need all of them? Not necessarily. Some of them are very similar. While I don't think you'd necessarily be disappointed with picking these up, I feel like the price point is your deciding factor. If you get these on a sale and you get a shade that you're absolutely in love with, I think you love the formulation. But as these become more popular, other brands are making cheaper alternatives that are just as good. So if there's a shade that you just find really unique, or if you just really want to test out this formula, I don't think it's a bad purchase. Just try to get them on sale. I implore you to try to wait for a sale for these. But I don't think they're a bad formulation. I think you would be happy trying them out. Some of the shades are a little bit more sheer, like those spring shades are a little questionable. But when they're good, they're really good. And I like the application of these. They apply smoothly, evenly. They don't cake up and crackle or anything. They blend out really nice on your lids. And that's what you'll find with some of the cheaper formulations. Like they will either get sheer or start to crackle on the lids. They'll crack. These just blend out really nicely. They end up looking like just a metallic eyeshadow, and I really love that. So overall, I do like the majority of these, and I do like the formulation quite a bit. I think it's a good formulation. I do think they're worth a look. You know, check them out, see if you're interested, get them on a sale. So hopefully my swatches were helpful for you to see if there is a shade, one of them that you want to try out and you weren't quite sure. Now you can see it in action and hear my thoughts about them. And if you've already tried these out, let us know what you think down below in the comments, because your feedback also helps other people to see if these are something they would try out. As usual, I will leave information down in the description box. I will leave the list of shades that I swatched in this video, and I will leave links on where you can pick them up. Those links happen to be affiliate links, which means if you shop through them, I will get a small sales commission. If you're not comfortable shopping that way, then go ahead and shop how you normally shop. No muss, no fuss. But if you do shop through my links, thank you so much for the support, because it does help me to put right back into this channel. I will also leave links to my Instagram and Twitter page where you should definitely be following me along. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye guys.